We are on. We are live.
Yes, sir.
Live and
Back
direct.
again.
Back again, or back for the first time, whatever you want to call it. So me and Jason got this thing, right? We discussed this before we put the camera on. This is what we're gonna do. Instead of naming the episodes and cornball shit like that and intros and shit like
Fucking
that,
hate intros.
I am gonna every episode, I'm gonna name the episode off the top of the head at the beginning of the pod, right? So give me a second. Let the genius work.
Oh, we're turning the wheels over here. Go for it.
Yeah, the wheels are burning right now. We're gonna call this one. This one's for Jay. This one's for my boy Jason. This episode is called Performative Arts.
I'm already here for this.
This one's called Performative Arts. That's what we're gonna call this one. And the reason I say this one's for Jay, well, he'll let you know why this one's for Jay, because we've been kind of discussing, man, some performative activism. We've been going over that couple weeks actually, and if it's something that really grinds
now.
Yeah, if it's something that really grinds our gears, as my grandmother used to say, it's performative anything, but especially performative activism.
Performative fucking activism, man. This is as everyone's favorite. They don't call it that because they don't realize it's that, because they think they're actually doing something. But that's everyone's favorite thing nowadays, is using your voice and making the most of your platform and all of this shit, as though you're somebody who is of relevance to the fucking world, as though your thoughts and opinions are shifting the course of history out here, or certain people not talking about stuff is the reason that all of these atrocities and shit are happening. Like, if I make a video about California, then the fires are going to go out, or some weird shit like that. It's absolutely fucking baffling, and it is a humongous, it's not really a problem because it quite honestly doesn't do shit, but
Right.
That's the fucking problem with it, right? It's not doing any fucking thing, and the fact that these people believe it is doing something is preventing them or other people who might actually do something if they truly gave a shit.
Right. I got a question though. Like, give us your best example of performative activism. Like, what would be a great example of that?
A great example of performative activism is the tweets, the I stand with Palestine. A great example of performative activism is the pray for California, pray for LA little posters that everyone puts up. A great example of performative activism is the people who rally together online to try and convince people to stop listening to some sort of musical artist because they said something in the year 2010 that they don't agree with, or the people who spend months and hours and days engaging in spirited debates about topics that are going on around the world, as though if they manage to convey a good enough point about the war in Ukraine, that somehow the war is going to end. Like, because they've read a bunch of things about something, that it actually makes a bit of a fucking difference. It's the people who talk about a thing, who obsess over a thing, and who do every single thing other than some sort of action, other than going out to fight a fucking fire, other than going out to give homeless people blankets and food, other than actually trying to make a difference, to do something towards it, rather than just participating in it as a part of the news cycle. I was actually talking to my sister the other day. She made a really great point about stuff in regards to the Israel-Palestine thing, and she was saying there's genocides happening all over the world currently, right? But the only reason that you care about this one, or act like you care about this one is because it's been highlighted at this moment, and this is the thing that you've been told to be interested in. So you go and you do your little part and act like you're a good person, and you put your stupid little flag in your bio, and every once in a while you reshare memes of people getting fucked up over there while you're safe in your little house and nothing is happening to you or has ever happened to you. And you're like, how can you stand by silently while this happens? I refuse to not speak up. As though that matters, as though you're anybody of any sort of relevance who is going to change stuff. Or you try and rally together these people, like back in we talked about the other day back in with George Floyd. People were sitting there on Twitter mad, why isn't Kendrick Lamar talking about this? As though Kendrick Lamar is like has some magical powers that if he makes a song about this, then everything's good now. The police are defunded and all that other shit that they want. Or why has DJ Khaled not tweeted about Palestine, as though they're over there at war, because they're like, DJ Khaled must support us. So until we hear he doesn't, we're just going to keep doing it. It's fucking insanity.
Well, DJ Khaled he's Palestinian, isn't he? He should,
fuck, probably.
He should.
Therefore, he must say a thing.
He should support. He should support by tweeting. He should send a tweet. That should feed someone in the war. That should wound up someone who lost a leg.
Yeah, hashtag from DJ Khaled. Absolutely. That's out here saving lives.
Yeah, man.
That's stopping people from getting hit by the bullets and the bombs and shit.
Hey, man, look, pray for LA, man. Hopefully my prayer put out will douse 1,000 fires, right? Hopefully one of my prayers will douse 1,000 fires and save the land, right? I stand with Israel. I stand with Palestine. I stand. You don't stand for nothing, man. Right? If you stood for anything, you wouldn't say anything because you can't do nothing. Right? If you have the ability to do anything, maybe you're worth $500 million and you can actually maybe if you chose to do so, send some supplies, spend some money, feed some kids. I don't know. But it won't be a tweet, man. Nobody wants to read your tweets. That's not support. Let me add, by the way, tweeting, comments, pictures, that is not support. Right? That is not support. So don't say I supported. I supported. Hey, man, I support. That's not fucking support. Right? That's for one. And one other thing, right? I know what grinds your gears, right? I know you spoke about it. Me, my definition would be these black activists, man. They the ones that put up all the signs on Instagram and they tweet, white supremacy and this, that, and yeah, man, I don't quite find that helpful in 2025. Today's activists, what are we fighting for again? Like, what is an activist actually currently fighting for right now? Is it white supremacy? Is it police brutality? Are we still fighting for a seat at someone else's table when we should be building our own damn table so we can eat? I don't know. I read somewhere that nationally, only 10% of Black 8th grade kids read at a proficient level, functionally literate. 10 out of 100. And that math is way worse. 36% of Blacks are obese or overweight, right? There's 100% of land in the US. Black Americans own less than 1%. Less than 1%. What are you as an activist? What are you fighting for? right? That's what I would question, right? We have huge issues, and when I say we, I basically mean poor people, man. People without the means, right? How do you get ahead? Fighting police brutality, is that how you get ahead, right? Fighting what white supremacy, whatever that is in 2025, is that how you get ahead? Fighting for a seat at the table. When I say a seat at the table, we still fighting for Grammys. Oh, why this film was or this song, I didn't get a Grammy. Let's protest someone else's awards, someone else's award show. It's not your award show, man. Make your own award show. Then you can give out the awards you want. Oh, I can't get a job. Own some businesses. Then give out the jobs you want. Oh, let me guess. Hold on, Jay. Let me guess. It's not that easy. We love that one.
Not that simple.
Oh, we love that one, right? No, it's not. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. My bad. It's not that simple. All right. I don't know, man. Jay, man. I don't know, man. I'll be confused, man. I'll really be confused with these folks, man. I'm starting to get. It's starting to get frustrating, right? It's starting to get frustrating.
It's interesting too, because like you said, the fighting for the seat at somebody else's table, right? Or like they're not giving out the Grammys to the right people, or go make your own awards. People, we got that. It's the BET Awards, and nobody really gives a shit about it, which is the crazy fucking thing. Is why is this not a prestigious award? Why do you need those people to appreciate your shit
Right.
in the same way that you do, right? Like, if we're going to sit here and say, well, this is better than this, why do they need to think that too? Why are you not good with your people thinking that it's better? Why do you need them to as well? And to answer your question, I think, quite honestly, I believe that what people are truly fighting for is handouts under the guise of opportunity, because the opportunity is there for everybody, regardless of where it is that you are, regardless of where it is that you started. Maybe it's easier for some people, maybe it's not. Who gives a shit? The point is, you have the opportunity from wherever it is that you are, wherever it is that you came from. There is someone who is in a much worse position than you, who was darker than you, who was more handicapped than you, who had more learning disabilities than you, who's shorter, who had less hair, whatever the fuck. And they have gotten all the way to whatever the top looks like to them. They have surpassed anything that you have done. And these people weren't held back by their race or their gender or their parents or the neighborhood that they were born in. So you can do the exact same thing. Every single person that succeeds is proof that you can also be successful, right? So despite what people like to talk about with all of this other shit, sure, maybe certain people look at you differently, maybe certain people don't want you around. That's fine. Everyone's not going to like you. But the point is, what people were fighting for is the opportunity, at least once upon a time. And there aren't the laws that there used to be that's saying, hey, you can't do X, you can't go here. There's not those roadblocks anymore. So once those went away, it's up to you to figure out where you want to go and to figure out how to get there. What the problem was before was that people were stopping you. But now that no one's stopping you, that's not good enough for people. They want people to actively help them along. They want to be hired places because they're not the traditional straight white male, as they like to say. So they got their funky ass little DEI shit, which is functionally give me a job because I look different than you. And they did the same shit with the fucking that's what the affirmative action shit was back in the day. And like I said, it's looking for handouts under the guise of wanting opportunity.
I agree, man. And the crazy part is, I'll add a little to that, right? Going back to what you said about, it used to be an extreme hurdle, right? It used to be, right? And I'm not saying it's not a hurdle now, but it used to be an extreme hurdle. Our ancestors and our folks fought and looked in the face of pure evil, right? I think we're letting them we're squandering, for lack of better words, we're squandering everything they fought for, in my opinion. They didn't die, they didn't fight for this, for you to use it as a crutch to limp into 2025 and say, I'm not successful because of the man, right? Oh, I'm not successful. You're not successful because you don't hold yourself accountable. That's why you're not successful. I never used to be like this. I used to love to blame other people. Right, that was my thing. Oh, I'm not ahead in rap because of this and or because of that, or I'm from Jersey. Oh, I'm from Jersey. They hate Jersey people. Or well, I was born in Brooklyn, but I repped Jersey, so it was like, oh man, they don't respect me because I'm from Jersey or this. I just made a whole bunch of shit up, and then I think, when it started to change, I started to hold myself accountable. Like, yo, dog, work harder, more effort, care about what you're doing, right? Take pride in what you're doing, right? Wake up in the morning, do what you need to do every day, day in, day out. Obsess over the things you need to obsess about. Not alcohol, not women, not weed, not drugs, not a couple dollars on the corner. Not obsessing over that. I'm obsessing about being successful. And that's when shit started to work. Like, people are not holding themselves accountable. They're using what our forefathers and our ancestors, what they did, they're using that shit as a crutch. And they're limping around saying and complaining. Oh, I can't, I can't, I would have been this or I could have been. Okay. Prove it. Prove what you could have been. Right? You only got one life on this planet. And you ain't got, we're just passing through at that. We're just passing through. We don't got much time. Right? The average person, the average man, let's say, man, the average man lives to about 60 something years old, if you're lucky. And the way these people are taking care of themselves is probably going to be worse than that, right? You don't have much time on this planet to be blaming your shortcomings on someone else. You don't have enough time. You have to make shit happen now. You can't use anyone else as an excuse. There's not a man, woman, child on this planet that can stop me from doing what I want to do, what I need to do to provide for my family. Not one person. White, black, Chinese, I don't give a fuck what they are. You ain't stopping me. People should adopt that attitude. Oh no, let me guess. Say it with me, Jay. It's not that simple. That easy. Yep. It's not that easy. Oh, I'm tired of the buts. Yeah, but like we joked about this the other time. How many times have you been wrong in the past 5 years, Jason?
Shit, who if that? I don't be fucking wrong. Like, that's just how it goes. About that.
Yeah, I'm not wrong a lot either. I'm not wrong a lot. You know what? Because you don't speak about. We don't. I'm not going to speak for you, but we don't. I'm not going to speak about a whole bunch of shit I'm not absolutely certain about. And it's true to me, right? So if you hold yourself accountable, the sky's the limit. So how could, you're going to tell me I'm wrong about that? Oh yeah, but it's not. It's no yeah buts. It's just put the work in, and don't blame anyone else but yourself. That's it.
Yeah, but people love to play that blame game, and it's everyone else's fault that they're not doing what it is that they should be doing. They're being held down by whoever the case may be, and that's the That's the biggest thing that stands in people's way, is believing that someone else is responsible for your situation. And going back to the original thing that you said about the black activists and all of that shit, nobody and I'm sure people will hate this, but nobody is more detrimental to black people progressing than other black people.
I agree.
If you try and fucking do anything that they disagree with, you are ostracized and criticized for that shit forever. And it's, you're not really black, you're not really this, if because you think something different, you dare to question what it is that they have going on. You dare to go against or take a step off of the path that they've been walking down their whole entire life. Like I said a few months ago, that when I was really poor, my skin tone was a very important thing. Everyone around cared all about all of that shit, right? They care about your race, you light skin, you dark skin. That's where the Mexicans at. That's where the white people at. That's where the Asians at. Whatever the case may be, it was all separated like that. I said, as I moved up in life, the higher that I got, the less people cared about that. Like you get around mid-level, middle of the road people, and people are worried about, did you go to college? Are you wearing a suit? What kind of car are you driving, right? And then when you get around the higher level people, they care about your character, who it is that you are as a whole, right? And the point of it being was that while I was believing that I couldn't be around certain people or do certain things because of my race, ethnicity, whatever the fuck, that was keeping me from actually doing these things. And then I got to a certain place and realized, oh, that's not really the case. Only these particular people care about it, right? Like I spent a very large portion of my life thinking that I would never be welcomed or treated with kindness by rich white people because of what poor black people told me, which is crazy if you think about it. But so as I kept going up, I realized, okay, it's only these people down here who care about the shit. And so many people fucking attacked me for it. And they're like, well, this is because you don't understand what the system is. You don't understand how things work. You didn't do this. Oprah is a billionaire and people were still mean to her because of her race. Fucking the people at the top created the racism. And I'm like, yes, sure, absolutely. But the thing is, they don't have to enforce it upon you. They just need to convince you that because of it, you can't do better. And then you fall for the shit every single fucking time. And you say, well, they told me this and this is true. So you're fighting to try and get them to tell you something different, even though it doesn't matter what narratives they're telling you. But the fact that you accepted it is what's keeping you down. That's the fucking trick. That's the play that they're running on you, is making you believe that you can't do any better. No one has to enslave you if you are unaware that you're a slave.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And that makes me think about, I know I told you the story. Well, not a story, but something I read about the monkeys and shit climbing up the fucking fire hose and shit. The fire pole. I'm gonna fucking butcher this story, but fuck it. I'm gonna give it I'm gonna butcher it. You'll get the point. I don't give a fuck. There it goes, right? They put 10 monkeys in the room. 10 ugly motherfucking monkeys at that. 10 big, ugly, stupid monkeys, right? They put bananas at the top of the pole. There's a big fireman's pole in the middle of the room. They put bananas at the top of the pole. Of course, the monkeys are going to try and climb to grab the bananas. One climbs, the others, of course, try to pull them down. But before they do, they hit the one who climbs. The people doing the experiment, they hit them with a fire hose, right? 100 pounds of pressure, whatever. Knock them off the fire pole, right? That's one monkey. And then they keep trying until they hitting each monkey off the pole, right? They replace one monkey with a monkey that didn't even know that the water existed. Never seen a monkey get knocked off the pole from the water. Fresh and new to the experiment. He tries to climb the pole, right? The other monkeys, they pull him off, beat him up. They violently drag him off the pole. Now they do that all 10 times until they have 10 new monkeys. And by the 10th monkey, they no longer have to use the water to knock the monkeys off the pole. They are knocking themselves off the pole. Mind you, not one of those monkeys seen another one of the monkeys get hit with the water. Subconsciously, they just know to knock each other off the pole. So they don't even know that the water existed.
All they know is to not try and climb that pole because
All
something
they
bad
know
will
is,
happen.
yes, all they
But they
know
don't
is
know
something.
why.
They don't know why something's bad going to happen, but they know that something's there, right? And they prevent each other, and they, and if you want to equate that to us, it's like if one of us try to do something, it's, oh, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. That's different. Oh, you're gonna vote Republican. Oh,
No,
you
we
can't do
don't do
that.
that.
You can't do that. Or whatever the case may be. And that makes me think. That makes me think, Jay. That makes me think. And I want to ask you. I want to ask you a question, man. This is a tough one, man. Do we owe Kanye West an apology? Since we're on the subject of people jumping over to another side and not being agreeable, and us shunning someone of our kind who has a difference of opinion, do we owe him not an apology, but let's just, for sake of argument, do we owe him an apology?
So this is my thought on Kanye West, because that's a great question, because it's a great example of this. Is Kanye came out, and yeah, people thought he was weird with his backpack polos and all of that shit. But once people got past that, then everybody loved Kanye, and he was, whether he was talking about George Bush doesn't care about black people or any of that other shit, people were all the way here for it, right? Because he believed and was repeating the same things that everyone has been told that it's okay to believe. So
Right.
people look at Kanye as, yeah, he's this, he's that. He's conscious to some degree, right? He was never like a conscious rapper, but whatever, but to some degree. But as long as he was still repeating the same things that you were told, as in, these people don't like us, we can't do this because of this, that was all fine. But as soon as he got to a certain level and he switched what it was that he believed, everyone is like, oh, all of a sudden he's no longer a genius. All of a sudden he's sold out. His genius only lasted, which is interesting, that his genius only lasted as long as stupid people agreed with him, which is an interesting idea if you think about it, right? Because if you take the Kanye thing, if you have a bunch of people and you're all standing at the bottom of a mountain and you want someone to get to the top of the mountain, right? And you see this person start off the climb, they started off where it was that you are, and you could see them all the way up, and they get all the way to the top. You're like, woo, they got to the top. Then they come back down and tell you that the top is nothing like you thought that the top was. And they say, and then those people get mad at you saying, no, what the fuck? This is it. You have lost who it was that you are along the way, rather than thinking about, just because at the bottom you can kind of see the top, rather than realizing that, oh, it's not, just because we have a view of it, it doesn't mean we have an understanding of it, because we're not up close. We're not in those rooms. We're not privy to those conversations or whatnot. He's heard those things. And at one point he was one of us. So rather than going with the logical thing to do and trusting that because he went in as one of you, it's possible that he still came out as one of you and just realized it wasn't what he thought upon entering. But people take it in the exact opposite way, and they think that you went in as one of us and came out as one of them, when it's also equally as likely that they are not what you thought. And that's what's keeping you where you are. That's why you're at the bottom of the mountain.
Okay. So that's a yes.
Yes, absolutely, Kanye. Yeah, 1,000. That's it's always people who are in these fucking who have absolutely no business or no knowledge of anything, swearing that they understand how the world works. Like you haven't left your fucking neighborhood. You don't know what the system is like. You don't know what people love to say, well, rich people don't do this, rich people don't do that. You've never seen more than $1,000. You don't know what the fuck rich people do. Shut the fuck up and stop trying to stop thinking that you know every fucking thing. So like, that's what's keeping you stupid. You think you're so smart that it's keeping you stupid.
Yeah, someone who knows everything knows nothing. I think that's how I'm gonna butcher a whole bunch of quotes, but I think that's how it goes. Someone who knows everything knows nothing. Well, if that's not a quote from fucking Marcus Aurelius or Seneca or Epictetus or one of these motherfuckers, then that's a Ransom quote right there. Fuck it. If you know everything, you don't know shit.
Not a goddamn thing.
Because shit, every day is a learning. Every day you should be learning something, right? Every day you get up and take a breath, brush your teeth, get up. You should be searching to learn something, some
To
type of
improve
skill,
yourself.
sometimes improve yourself. Whatever it may be, whether it be working out, whether it be reading a book, whether it be job hunting, internet, researching, you should be improving yourself every minute of the day, especially if you have free time on your hands, right? You should not be thinking you're a fucking genius. You should not be thinking that you know what rich people think. Rich people are evil and all this other shit. And I don't know, they very well may. You know what? I want to find out. Let me get to, give me 100 million and I will tell you if I'm evil or not. I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm feeling a little devilish today. I'll tweet, I'll go on X and I'll let you know if I'm feeling like Satan. But let me check it out first. Oh, money isn't everything. That's that's what poor people say. Poor thinking people say. That's what poor thinking people say. That's how poor people think. That's how they think. That's their mentality. Rich people are evil. He must have did something to get to this situation. How'd he get that job? He must have did this. And oh well, I didn't get that job because of this. Never about yourself. Now I know I'm a little all over the place, but something just popped in my head, right? So what's today's date? It's January 18th, and Trump drops this fucking coin, right? I'm into crypto, but I'm not a fucking crypto master, right? But I do like making money and certain opportunities, right? So I think Trump drops a coin yesterday, and it started low. I forgot it was $13 or something. Now it's up to 330. Let me check my crypto real quick for you. Let me tell you where this shit is at, right? This is going somewhere. Hold on, let me tell you. It's at 327, right? So I go on X and I'm like, man, I hope y'all got y'all a piece of this coin, man. Something, right? Here goes the what ifs. Here goes the what up, what buts. The but what's. The but what's. That's what we're gonna call them. But what? Now I'm gonna pick on this one guy, right? He says, this what this mother. Oh, he deleted his shit. Oh, this he deleted it.
Oh,
He's an
damn,
idiot.
he got screenshot the
He's
shit.
a fucking idiot. That's why he deleted it. He's an idiot. I got one of them. Now hold on. He said, so I tweeted, I hope y'all got a piece of the, coin, hope he wasn't too proud, you know, what that bastard. I hope he wasn't too proud to make some money off that bastard. Something in the lines of that, right? So this guy says, did it change your lifestyle? Question mark. Y'all, right? Y'all will support anything because you can get a couple of bucks from it. That's pitiful. What a fucking I don't want to use the word, man, but what a idiot. What an imbecile. Hold on. Let me use my mother's word. You're a jackass. That's what you are. That's what my mother said. That's what my mother would call that guy. A fucking jackass. Because here's how I equate that, right? So I simply said, hey, man, look, if you think because I tweeted something or I made a couple of $1,000 off of something that I'm supporting, I said, man, I didn't support anything. What am I supporting? His campaign? Like I didn't vote. I'm not a political guy, man. I just saw there was an opportunity for people to make some money. You should have made some money. If not, catch them on the next one, right? Oh man, I missed out. Cool, man. I'm not supporting anybody, man. I'm trying to make some money. Oh man, you support this guy for a couple of bucks? That's what poor people think. That's a poor mentality. I don't give a fuck about Trump, Kamala, Biden, Elon. I don't give a fuck, man. They do nothing for me, right? So if they don't do anything for me, man. I don't care. I don't support doing that. If they have some information that's some useful information that I can use, I will use it. I don't care. That brings up another point. Our culture, I said culture, I said it. Fuck it. I said it. I said culture. Our culture.
The culture.
I know you love that word. Our culture, yo. Why do we care, or why do we have to like the messenger to receive the message? Why the fuck do we have to like the messenger in order to receive the message? Right? If Obama was not cool, and if he didn't shoot basketball, if he didn't shoot hoops, if Clinton ain't play the sax, y'all niggas is crazy, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't fall for
He does shit that I do.
Right, yeah. Hey, I've played the sax before. Like, yo, get the
what?
That's a jazzy white man. Let me put in my vote.
To blues.
Oh, I love jazz music. Clinton's up there skitting and scatting
Holy
and shit.
shit.
Man, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. What's wrong with you people, man? Oh, he said you people. Like, what's wrong?
That's exactly it. Because people fall for this stupid, like, you don't realize how fucking pandering it is that there's like, oh, look at this guy shooting a basketball. Like,
so frustrated.
This is not just because he's like you. It's because they know that if you show this guy shooting basketball, you're all so fucking stupid that you will be like, that's my guy because I have a basketball. Like, y'all are so fucking simple-minded with this shit. And it's just... It's absolutely fucking bad. It's like the people who are running around talking about, oh, Trump lives like us. He got felonies. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, this is the most ignorant shit ever. And it's people focus on the stupidest shit instead of like sitting here listening to, if you're going to go and get yourself involved in the politics and stuff, what is good for you? What is it that you were saying? And like when you hear people, when these people are like, well, this person's racist, like your first question should be how, not just like as a concept or just an idea or because a bunch of people said it. Where, how, in what way, what is this? And I'm very opposed to the labeling of nebulous things as like racism. Like the people, like if you say you people will be like, it's racist. Like I didn't fucking say anything specifically. Stop telling me what the fuck it is that I'm saying. Stop calling everything racism or sexism or homophobia or whatever. It's just it's those words that are used to like cap the things that you can say and kind of keep you within a little bounds because you get called this thing. It's like, well, you can't say this because it's racist. My first question is how, because I'm not saying it that way. You can't just assign meaning to what the fuck it is that I'm saying. So That's not how I mean it. Maybe that's not how this person meant it. Maybe you should listen to people when they're telling you, no, I'm not racist. I just think this thing particularly. It's not always wrong. It's not always a lie, but it's just all pandering shit. And the people who think that they're so smart are the same ones who fall for it every single fucking time. Oh, look at what they were doing it with fucking Kamala Harris. Oh, she's eating soul food. Like, who cares?
Oh my
The fuck
God,
is
that
wrong
was
with you?
pitiful.
That shit is
That was
wild. She made
pitiful.
collard green. Like, who gives a fuck?
That's insulting, matter of fact. Like, no one
As
was
hell.
insulted.
That's belittling.
That shit was crazy. Like, collard, didn't she have it in a tub or some shit?
In a
She had the,
bathtub. Like, what?
man, who told her that shit, man? Dumbass, yo. Oh my God, Megan the Stallion is twerking. I'm going to put my vote in now. Fucking buffoons.
Yeah, but see, you don't even realize that and it's not a knock to her and her music. Like, I'm not, it's not my personal listening preferences, but I mean, I'm not knocking it. I'm not saying it's bad or anything. I'm just saying like, you should think it's telling that these are the people that they try and get you, that they try and get to get your vote.
Says a lot about you.
That's what I'm saying. That you're like, oh, look at the twerking on stage. I'm voting for her now. Like that says a lot about you, your values, your perspective, and what it is that you think you're supposed to do.
They ain't bring no Pulitzer Prize win up there, motherfucker. Like somebody, you know what I'm saying? They didn't even bring Morgan Freeman or some shit. Bring Morgan up there. You might have got my vote if you had Morgan, somebody like that. Somebody with respect.
But why they brought up people to entertain you? Why did you want to be entertained? Bring up someone who's going to say something profound and insightful. Someone who's going to educate you, say something that's of benefit, but they're like, nope, look at the show real quick and now listen to me. Like, I've trapped you with this entertainment. Like, you're the fucking kid with the Happy Meal and you're like, ooh, I want this because you get a toy out of it.
Yeah, and that was supposed to work. That one was supposed to work. Okay, well, listen, I'm not political. I didn't vote. I never voted, right? I have no skin in the game. I'm just reading between the lines. That's what we do. We read between the lines. We're not on this side. We're not on either side of any political party or any side of the street or any corner of the white. Personally, I don't give a fuck. It's frustrating to watch people be fooled by the same old tricks.
Over and
over again, the same old tricks, the same old triggering points. It's frustrating. So, I mean, that's part of the reason we came up with this show, just to kind of read between the lines, right? Or maybe we can help someone read between the lines. Like and I'll bring some of the things we talk about into this discussion. So one of the things I don't think people realize is if you are, let's say 10 times out of 10, if you are seeing something that you think you're not supposed to be seeing, if you're seeing it, you're probably seeing it for a fucking reason, right? They're showing you triggering things for a reason. Oh my God, this guy's been strangled on camera for everyone to see. I am going to tear down my own neighborhood. Yay. Yo, dog. Yo, my man, what's up with you, dog? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing, man? Like, you are seeing this for a reason. Why would you tear down your own shit?
That's fucking hilarious because people's response was, huh?
I said, I don't get it. I don't get it, Jay. I don't get it.
People's response was, you guys did this, so I'm going to go burn down the Target that I shop at. Like,
the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck?
But nobody thinks of it that way, though. They think that they're sticking it to the man somehow and they're proving this point. But it's like, you live here, motherfucker. Like, this is your shit. It's like, even back in the day with the Rodney King shit, it's like, you didn't go tear up Beverly Hills and Rodeo Drive. You tore up your shit. And like, we're protesting, we're mad at you, so we're gonna fuck our own shit up. It's weird.
The fuck? They did a
But
number on us, boy.
that's and people just respond to the thing. And I love what you said. If you're seeing a thing, you're being shown a thing for a reason. You didn't sneak it or stumble upon some top secret thing that got exposed. You're not exposing anybody, right? Like it's like if you back in the day, if you played a video game, you could put in, I don't know how video games are now. I've played for fucking decades, but back in the day, if you play a video game, you could put a cheat code to get you infinite ammo or, you know, super health or all the outfits or whatever the fuck it is that you type the little button code in and you get a thing. And it's called a cheat code, which kind of gives you the idea that you're cheating and doing something that you're not supposed to. But the developer put the code in there for you to be able to enter. You're not getting over on anybody. You're still within their system, operating off of the code that they have programmed. You're on their shit. So people think that they're fighting against the system with all of these narratives that they push and they try and go against, but they don't realize that they're getting these narratives from the system. It was the system who told you you can't get ahead because of your race, and you think that you're doing something, you're going against it by saying by countering it. No, you're going against it by disregarding it completely, because if they've given it to you, they want you to mess with it. It's like if you're an experiment, right? If you're in a room full of a bunch of people and they throw in toys, they clearly want you to play with one of the toys. So your interaction with that shit, period, is doing what it is that they want. You're playing their game thinking that you have somehow found a cheat or found some sort of shortcut. No, they put the shortcut there for you to walk through.
Yeah, it's and it works. It works in all fields. Also, see, like even people we're fucked up all around the board. We're fucked up, right? So it works with music, right? This shows you how much people are sheep, right? You have this fake illusion online of, let's say a rap couple arguing online, right? Oh, I hate you. We're divorced, right? And then the next day the album comes out and it's like, and motherfuckers fall for it like, come on, dog.
They made up.
Why do you think you are privy to someone else's divorce or someone else's cheating allegations or someone else's bedroom antics or someone else's household activities? The reason you are privy to this shit is because they want you to see it. That's it. That's it. And you motherfuckers fall for it all the time.
Over and over.
Over and over. The same fucking trick, man. It's like a motherfucker, right? I hate this shit too, right? Motherfucker go online and put his dead grandpops or the grandpops in the damn in the hospital bed. Motherfucker is decrepit, his lung hanging on out the chest. You know what I'm saying? And they got the camera up. I can't even write this caption. I'm so distraught enough I can't write this caption, but I'm gonna post this anyway because my grandpop is on his way out. Poor grandpop can't even. He's fighting. He's making the face like don't take no goddamn picture of me, man. Right? But you still put you take the picture, you put it online, and for everyone to see, for everyone to see, because why? Because that's what you want people to see. Right? Everything you see online, on TV, has been edited, has been tampered with, have been saturated and every editing trick, whatever you want to retake and recut, everything you see. Right? So I'm not the type of person to believe anything I see or hear, right? Or I'm going to think, I'm going to consider the source, but I'm still going to question it. Why not? Right? It's crazy how, and this kind of ties back into yay. Like it's crazy. Like we're not even allowed to question anything. Like I remember when COVID hit, it was like everybody was scared, right? It's like, yeah, we scared, man. What the hell is this, right? But then, you know, a week or two go by and you start questioning. You're like, yo, hold on though, like this mask work? Oh, you can't question. Yo, this 6 feet shit, this. But if I wear a mask, then and that person don't got a mask on, then how is that going? No, you can't question. Then here, just take the vaccine. Don't question it. Why would you question the CDC? Why would you question Fauci? What are you a physician? What are you, a scientist? No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm just. Can I ask the question? I'm
I'm
just
just
asking the
curious.
question. I'm just curious. Like, what's this? What y'all about to put in this needle and shoot me up with? What is it? Oh no, it's a vaccine. It's a vaccine that we cooked up in a couple of what is it, a month, a week, couple of
Are
weeks.
you
We
an
cooked it up.
anti-vaxxer?
Yeah, now I'm an anti-vaxxer and all. And I'm not. Look, the people who took the vaccine, they were trying to do the right thing, right? So I'm not. I'm not like we're not on either side. I'm not on anybody's side, right? I didn't. I'm not. I ain't take the shit, but I'm not on the side. I damn sure ain't take that shit, but um, I'm not on the side. I'm not fucking condemning the people who did because they were trying to do the right thing, right? Like, yo, this shit, I'm trying to live. Motherfuckers out there trying to live, right? But why not ask questions? And then the people who did ask questions, going back to the fucking monkeys climbing the damn pole, you can't ask no questions. You can them good people at the CDC. Those are good folk at the CDC. You can't ask no damn question. That's Fauci. He a scientist. He know exactly what's going on. He know what's good for me.
What are
He
your
know.
credentials?
Yeah, where are you? You ain't no scientist. I'm gonna listen to him. Okay, then
I
that's
trust the
fine.
science. Like, what are you
Right.
talking about, man?
Yo, when has when has our as a collective when has our ideologies ever matched the governments or the CDC or the FD, whatever? When has it ever aligned where it's like, yo, the motherfuckers, they doing exactly what I thought they was gonna do. That's why I put them in there. When has that ever happened? Ever. It's never happened, right? If the motherfuckers are fucked up enough to feed your kids Fruit Loops, or if they are willing to put Fruit Loop commercials on TV and tell kids, hey, this is a balanced part of your breakfast. It's a balanced part of your day. This is the way you start your day. You start your day off with some fucking Fruit Loops. I'm going to
And Pop
trust those
Tarts.
people. Yeah, and Pop Tarts. I'm going to trust those people. Like, I'm not a genius, man. I'm not a genius. But when shit don't make sense or when shit stink, I smell it. I'm like, oh, this shit stink. I ain't fucking with you. Like, it doesn't. What I'm saying is, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know when someone's trying to pull the wool over your eyes, right? If someone's trying to, especially if someone's trying to sell you something that's supposed to be good for you, right? Or trying to
But
trick,
for free.
but for free, or get a Happy Meal with it. I've seen some, like, at one point you get some fries with a burger with it. At some point you got, am I lying though? At some point you got to be like, yo, hold on, wait a minute. Yeah, you finna give me a burger? I don't even, like, nah, dog. Like, I don't want that. Like, my my 46 years of living tells me that if someone's trying to give you something that's supposed to be good for you, and if they are trying to convince you, if they have to convince you to take it, then it's probably probably should, at least for the very least, wait till somebody else take it. That was my stance. If I was like,
See
yo,
what happened to them first.
right, I'm not gonna be the first ones to do it. I'm gonna watch him take it. If he fall out, then I know not to do it. I'm not going to be the first one. Why are you running to be the first person online? And that just goes back to our original point. Why is it not okay to ask questions?
I think, and that's a really, that time period is a really good example of stuff, right? Because there's I mean, as a whole with the question thing, I think that we're all kind of taught from a very young age, even with like schooling and shit, that it's not really okay to ask questions, right? Like they tell you that they want you to be a free thinker and all of that and to think this shit. But if you ask something outside of the box or go against what it is that they want you to think, then all of a sudden it's a problem. I remember one time I had a English class where they were talking about different like religion and shit. They were talking about like Christianity and Catholicism, and they said that they were talking about sins. And they said that the only unforgivable sin is suicide because you can't repent for it. So I'm like 15 or some shit at the time. So I'm thinking, okay, well, what if you decide to jump off of a building to kill yourself, then regret it on the way down, and you ask for forgiveness? And it sounds wild, right? But I was truly curious of this. So I raised my hand, I asked the teacher, he's like,
that's crazy.
Stop being a smartass. It's like, I'm not being a smartass. I really want to know this shit, right? But they encourage you to not ask those kind of questions exactly by responding to shit like that. So asking questions about shit, that's usually people's answer when they don't want you to know something or they don't know the answer to it themselves, is don't ask questions, right? Like when your parents tell you because I said so, it's like, oh, okay, you don't actually know what the fuck it is that you're talking about. This isn't for real good for me. So they took all of that with the COVID shit. You weren't allowed to question shit because you're not a virologist or whatever, and somehow that means something can't make sense to you. Or like how they did all of the shit with the misinformation, right? My question was always, okay, well, you don't want people spreading misinformation. That's what you're saying this under the guise of, right? But there are people online right now saying the world is a circle and the world is flat. Yeah. One of those people are wrong. Yeah. Why are they both allowed to say this thing? Yeah. There are people online talking about fucking chemtrails. And if you're not chemtrailing the sky, why are you allowing people to say that? So why is some misinformation okay, but not others? Which then leads me to believe, well, it's not about misinformation. You don't want me saying this. And then the question becomes, why can't I say this? Why is this something that I can't speak on? Because when you speak on these things, it raises questions that people have, like, well, why is this? How does the mask stuff work with this? How does the fucking vaccine work if it does this? What's the point of this? Why can we go into a restaurant and sit at a table and not wear a mask, but when we get up from the table, we have to put on a mask? Like, this isn't how air works. It's everywhere. So, like, if that's okay, why isn't okay always? Like, why is any of this stuff going the way that it's going? But everyone who asked questions, they kind of just attacked, exactly like you said with the monkey things, right? People got kicked off of fucking Twitter and deplatformed and all this shit for asking questions and saying other stuff. So everyone else kind of just fell in line and just stopped asking questions about it naturally, because they're like, well, shit, I saw what happened to those people and I don't want that to happen to me. So they made an example out of these people. And when you do that, again, going back to the why aren't you allowed to ask question thing, because when you're not questioning things, you're just compliant because they just want you to go along with it. And the more people that go along with it, the easier that it is to get them to whatever end it is that they're trying to get to. Like, I'm not a genius. I don't have an idea of, or I'm not all knowing or whatever. I don't know specifically what their end is, but I've lived enough life. I've been around enough types of people and enough types of rooms where ungood stuff was going on to know when people have bad intentions of something and something is not what it is that it seems to be.
No, I disagree. You are kind of all knowing and shit, like like Yoda or some shit. Like you like a grown Yoda from Star Wars. Like you just know why you think I'm doing this podcast with you, man? I think that you are, if you ain't all knowing, you at least half knowing. You know some shit.
Most knowing.
You are the almighty most knowing. That's what I'm about to fucking rename you, man. You know some shit.
But you know
that's what
that goes to the thing we was talking about being wrong, right? Like, it's not about knowing everything. It's about being perceptive and being able to piece together different things. And like, I'm an observer first and foremost. When I go into a room, I'm not some dumb fuck who just runs around making a spectacle of myself and, you know, wanting to talk to everybody and everyone to pay attention to me. It's like, nah, I want to know what's going on in this room. I want to know what I feel like each of these people are doing. How are these people moving? You know, what's going on? That guy kind of looks like he might be armed over there. Let me keep an eye on him because I don't fucking know him. So yeah. I think that the perceptiveness, the observational skills is it'll take you very far in life because you can kind of piece these different random things together. And But most people, again, they're just the ones who want to run up in the room and either stay in their little corner and not pay attention to anybody because they feel awkward, or run around and make a jackass of themselves and talk to every single person that they see without knowing what the fuck is going on. They want people to know about them before they know about other people, and I think that is a stupid thing to do.
I like that.
Because then there's someone like me sitting in there observing and saying, what is this person doing over here? You're just making it super fucking easy.
Yeah, I think a lot of people haven't been in situations where they were forced to observe, right? So when you've been in rough situations and were forced into situations that where you had to observe, right? Like you had no choice. Like a lot of people give up their perception a lot of the times. Like for instance, like I know I'm not going to tell too many prison stories, but they are cool from time to time. But there's one, it's pretty cool from time to time. You know why? Because to survive something like that, it's not a badge of honor, but it's like, yo, man, you had to have some type of intellect, right? To survive, you had to have something, right? So, but getting back to my perception point, right? So you'll have this big motherfucker come into the yard and he's huffing and puffing, right? And the perception is it's a big motherfucker, man. You're not going we're not gonna fuck with him. Like probably shouldn't fuck with him, right? But you got those who will observe, right? Somebody like me. And I will observe how this big motherfucker is moving around. And most of the time that big dude will give up his perception. The perception is this guy's big, tough, rough, and tumble. At some point, if he is not, he will give up his perception. Some people even know the perception, right? But most people don't. Most people give it up. So the big guy will come out and maybe say something that he shouldn't say. Maybe it's some little sassy. Hey, could you pass that or some fucking sassy shit? And then that's it. And that's it. Once you give up your perception, but you have to be observant to be able to observe who's in the room, who comes in the room, who leaves out the room. As a man, you size up other men as far as like, yo, this dude, like, yo, what type of hold on. Yeah, I might have to worry about him. Or, oh, who's this dude? Like, yeah. So when you're forced to be observant, but when you're sitting on your couch all day, right? You're sitting on your couch all day, you don't have to observe shit but the TV or Instagram or some shit like that. But when when you've done things in life and been in certain situations, you were forced to think on your feet and be very observant. And if you want to be success, and then to be successful on top of that, to come out of that and still be and to take those skills that you learned, the observant skills that you learned, and to take that and to apply it into your lifestyle, right? Like, oh, like, and that goes back to COVID. Like, yo, I'm not no genius, but they gave up their perception a long time ago to me, right? You ain't gonna you don't have to fool me to take no medicine. If it's good for me, let me get that. But you ain't do that. Oh yeah, well you had commercials and you had flyers and come in and get a free this and free. So I perceive you gave up your perception as all world scientists and all this other shit. To me, you gave up your perception, and I read it and I read the room like, oh nah, I ain't fucking with that. These people crazy. But it was me living my life and observing throughout my life, which led me to make certain decisions that I make today. And it goes back to your point. You had to be able to observe, right? And that brings me to another point. And of course, I'm all over the place, but it doesn't matter.
I'm here for it.
No, it doesn't fucking matter. Because we was talking about this before we even flicked the camera on, right? We was talking about cancel. Motherfuckers getting canceled, right? And I thought that was interesting, right? Because I see online, motherfuckers trying to cancel somebody. I ain't even gonna say the name, but they trying to cancel somebody, right? But I thought, and I read between the lines, doing what we do, the game within the game. I'm trying to see the game within the game, right? Who's scoring the points in the fourth quarter? That's not going to be on this. That's not going to look cool at the end when somebody's watching the stat book and he got one rebound, but that one rebound changed the game, right? That's the game within the game. So I'm thinking, do we really think we have the power to cancel someone? That's what people think. So this dude, so you can have, let's say, one of the biggest, I'm not going to name no names, but you have one of the biggest, wealthiest people in the world, but we decide that we're going to cancel him. How do you do that? How do we do that? How do we do that? How do we think that we can cancel someone? Right? That's one and I'll answer that, and you can add on to that, but I'll answer it real quick. We cannot. You can't. You can't cancel anyone. You're not powerful enough or significant enough to cancel it yourself. You can't even cancel yourself. You can't cancel anyone, right? When people get canceled, let's say, they say Kanye West got canceled, right? He got canceled, man. We got him out of here. You got him out of here, right? You didn't get him out of here, right? He is a corporate man, right? And I'm pretty sure right now he's part of the reason he's probably crazy is because he's made some wrong decisions, right? He's a corporate man. The corporations that he is signed with are powerful people. They have the power to cancel. How do you cancel someone? You devalue their businesses. Yeezy was worth $1 billion. Now it's not. When this whole stuff was going down, that's how you cancel someone. How does Tate get canceled? How does this person get canceled? How does this person? You don't own anything to cancel anyone. So if you own a platform like YouTube or X or Instagram or anything, you could take that person's platform on your platform. You could take it off. You could cancel them, right? They have certain people or corporations have the power to cancel people. You do not, sir, sitting in your living room. You do not have the power to cancel anyone.
Yeah, and that's exactly true. Nobody has the power to cancel anybody, but people, again, because people lack observational skills, they don't realize what it is that's actually going on, right? So like you said Kanye, I like to look at the baby, right? Whenever he was at the Rolling Loud shit, and everyone was like, oh, he said something that was homophobic or whatever.
Crazy.
And they're like, he's canceled now. And then because you might not listen to him, you think that you somehow canceled him, right? But you in your lack of observation, what you don't notice, he still exists. He's been doing fucking great. He's been doing perfectly fucking fine.
Right.
He's not the type of commercial person that he was before, but that's just a pivot of things. And when you see all of these other people who got canceled, it's not that you did anything specifically, it's that they kind of just bowed out on their own. The only person that I can think of that's like truly got canceled was, like you said, was the Tates, because they got their platforms removed. So there was nothing they could fucking do because they're not in control of fucking Instagram, YouTube, and all of that shit. So it's the corporations that have the power to do these things. So you not liking fucking Diddy or Jay-Z or whoever the fuck it is that's going on doesn't mean that you have the power to cancel these people. It doesn't fucking matter. Just because you're loud about the fact that they've done something that you don't approve of, it doesn't mean that you could cancel these people. I'm sure there were people who get mad at this shit and be like, cancel these, but cool, that's fucking fine. We're going to keep recording the shit and put it the fuck out. It's not a goddamn thing that you could do about it because you don't actually have any power. And this goes all the way back to the activism thing, is that people have been brainwashed into believing believing that them holding up a sign or tweeting out something is the equivalent of them actually getting something done. And the reason that they've been told that thing is because if you believe that you standing there waving a sign is the same thing as you going to war, why would you go to war? If you believe that you tweeting is the same thing as you going and actually putting out the fires, why would you go put out the fires? You're just gonna sit there, wave your little bitch sign and tweet your stupid little pussy shit, right? And you're gonna pat yourself on the back like you've done a thing, not realizing that you again fell for the narrative from the very same people who were trying to oppress you in your fight for your freedom, and you adopted their shit. And this is what's preventing you from ever being able to actually do it, is because you believe that this nonsense shit is making a difference. It's not. If you want someone gone, you have to become someone who can remove someone, not some dipshit who's sitting in your basement talking about this person did this and let's cancel them and make them. No, fuck you. You can't do anything. You're just whining. You're throwing a little temper tantrum and you've been convinced that it's powerful. Like, all these people think that we have the power to cancel people. No, you don't. Because even if there's 30 million of you who decide that you want this person gone, it doesn't matter. That's still barely any fucking body. There's not enough of you to do it. And for every single person who thinks a thing, there's 10 people who disagree. So 30 million of you very well might want to cancel this person, but 300 million people don't. And that's always going to matter more at the end of the fucking day. Until whoever else runs afoul of these platforms and these other large corporations, nobody's canceling fucking anybody. It's not happening. So if we don't get kicked off of all of these different things that we put it on, there's nothing anyone can fucking do about it, no matter how much you cry online.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm just sitting here thinking, right? My brain is crazy, man. Who's actually starts the first chant of that guy's like? If you do control anything, right? Who's the first person to be like, hey, man, we should cancel? Who's the rallier? Who do we rally behind? Right. So my question is, if said corporation doesn't start the process of the cancel, would we even want to cancel that person anyway?
No,
probably not.
It's that's a great quote, because I say this all of the time, right? And fuck it, we're talking. I'm going here. There is this we're going with the baby shit, right? All of a sudden, him being homophobic is a big terrible thing, right?
I got something before you start that, right? No mean to cut you off. It's real quick.
Yep.
And it's pertaining to the baby, right? The reason why he like you said, he's still here, he's still doing his thing or whatever the case may be, but even he might tell you that he wasn't, when he said those things, what they did to slow his process was to take him out of the public eye, or to give him so it's something called a machine, right? Especially when you're doing music, right? So they slowed the machine down for him as a tool to teach him a lesson or whatever the case may be, made him apologize and so forth. But that was part of how they quote unquote canceled him. They just slowed down his machine, right? But yeah.
But he kept on going, so it didn't everyone knows that, because he was doing his shit before music, so he knows this. Hey, it's not working. I got to figure out how to get it on my own, and that's the problem, is what most people don't have. Like, if you take away most people's job, then they're just out of luck. They're not going to figure out a way to do some shit. But there's certain people, like I was supporting myself before when I didn't have a job, so some people know how to figure the shit out, and those are also, again, ultimately the people that you can't cancel in that way, because part of the thing of the cancellation is you want people to fail because you're a fucking hateful ass person and you want these person's life to not be good. But you can't do that to everybody. Everybody is not reliant on these outside sources for stuff. Now, they might benefit you, it might make things better, but some people know how to make it work otherwise. without all of the extra shit, without the assistance or whatever. It's like, okay, cool, you were helping me, but you're not. That's fine. I can still figure this out because I've done it before, and that's not something you can't take that from somebody.
I agree. No, I agree, man. Like, especially in the case of the baby, man, he was hustling and bustling way before he had those corporate ties. Right? He knew exactly what to do. Okay, y'all gonna take my machine from me or not put me where, or put me in the eyes of where I need to be or where I used to be when you started. Okay, I'm gonna go right back to my grind, man. So it's
Yeah,
like,
that's
yeah,
what
yeah,
you do.
you
Some people know that. Like there's the what Jay-Z say, that I sold kilos of coke, so I'm guessing I could sell CDs. It's like I can do this, I can do that, and I can do that again too if I need to do it. So all of the things carry over. You know, you can sell drugs, you can sell cars, you can sell houses. It's all the same relative skill. But
or depending depending on where you want to go as an entertainer, artist, basketball player, whatever the case may be, depending on where you want to, how far you want to take it, right? And that goes into something else, is to where if you are part of these corporations, right, you are expected to do certain things and to say certain things and to toe certain lines, right? And it's not a conspiracy, it's or a theory, it's fact, right? If I sign $100 million Pepsi deal, there's going to be stipulations in that deal that I can't say or do certain things, and I will get phone calls, and you will get a phone call if you stray across that line, right? So it's how far do you want to take it as an entertainer, athlete, whatever the case may be. How far do you want to take it, right? If you want to be like somebody like Gay that says, man, fuck it, man, I got to say something. I got to say something. I'm going to do what I want. I just want to do what I want to do. You will get, these corporations will publicly, whether it be humiliation or whatever the case may be. Some people think it's a conspiracy, but it's, how is it a conspiracy when it's right there in front of you? That's my question, right? It's done right there in front of your eyes, and you still think it's a conspiracy, right? Why? Like, all right, for instance, Kyrie Irving, um, what was it, last year or a year before that, or whatever? Yeah, it was the COVID thing. You know, he didn't take the vaccine. I really believe they felt the type of way that he didn't take the vaccine. Yeah, he was even, they couldn't play home games or some stupid shit like that. They had some stipulations for him, and then he goes and posts a book from Amazon that he bought from Amazon. I forgot the name of the book, and they cancel him. and they cancel him for posting a book or whatever the case may be, and they made him apologize for the book. Or I don't think he really apologized, or he had some type of some type of apology. Um, but I seen the other basketball players and athletes. First of all, no one stood up for him and said, "Hey, man, hold on, it's just a damn book." Why was he suspended and all this other shit? Is a book, dog. And then on top of that, the book goes out and sells X amount of copies because y'all made a big deal about the books y'all didn't want anyone to read, and now everyone's reading the book, right? So I just pointed that out. I felt that whole situation was stupid. I didn't think he did anything wrong. You could read whatever the fuck you want to read, think what you want to think, right? You're not hurting anybody. You're not getting locked up. He's not a criminal. There's athletes that did 10 times worse than what he did. And he got spanked in public, and that's my thing, man. We let I don't want to say our people, and I don't want to say our celebrities either, but we let our people as a part of our culture, we let other people chastise them and spank them and publicly humiliate them. And like Kanye and Kyrie, we kind of let these things, and no one stands up and say, "Oh, wait a minute." Even if Kanye says some shit you don't agree with, let us talk to him. You can't you. We not gonna let y'all do that to him. Let one of his big homies, let Jay-Z call him and pull him to the side. Like, but we not gonna let you do that, right? We're not gonna let you do that. And when I say you know who I'm talking about. Jason, you know who I'm talking. We ain't gonna go there. But still, we're not gonna let you do that. But what do? We still let them get away with this shit, whether it be Chappelle or Jacko. We call Mike Jacko, man. I won't forgive. I won't forgive. I'm not gonna forgive that. I'm not gonna forget. And you know what? I don't want to I don't want to get into that. But we called Mike Jacko, man. We humiliated Jack, man. That was sad. That was sad.
The interesting thing is it's just the willingness of people to turn on people so quickly, right? Like you see what happened. Like even, and not to get into the situation too much. This is not a claim on what, I don't know these people personally. I don't know what the fuck anybody is or is not doing. But the second that Diddy got accused, everyone fucking turned on him, and it's why the same shit happened to Jay-Z. He got accused of a thing and everyone turned on him. Like you love these people for decades. It's the same. It's interesting. They did the exact same thing with, like, everyone loved Trump until he was running for president. Then all of a sudden everyone fucking turned on him because this is what they told you. But like for decades, Jay-Z was like the goal. This is what you want to be like. That's Jay-Z. But as soon as they said something, as soon as Diddy, everyone pops up to try and tear this motherfucker down. There was people, I saw people back in the day who was sitting there making like whole vlog series about how to be more like Kanye. Like Kanye was the fucking man to so many people until he said one thing, then everyone turned on him. And the same thing with Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was an icon. He was all of this, all of that until this popped up. Now they just try to erase all of it. They did the same shit to R. Kelly's, maybe a little bit of a different situation.
He might be a little different.
He's probably a different situation because there's actual like shit, but that's whatever. But the point is, you know what? As a matter of fact, people have more grace for R. Kelly than they did these other people, because R. Kelly still, like, no one will not put R. Kelly in the greatest R&B list of all time, period. Right. They'll point out, I don't agree with him, I don't agree with what he did, but he made amazing fucking music. People give R. Kelly more grace than they do Diddy, Jay-Z, Michael Jackson, Kanye West. It's wild, because of those, the difference in the group is R. Kelly's the only one. I don't know what he's done as a whole. I watched the documentaries and all that shit, but he is the only one with verifiable instances other than just like hearsay, right? Other than just some people suing someone 30 years later. R. Kelly is the only one who has verifiably done a thing. Kanye didn't even do shit. You just don't agree with him, and now all of a sudden he's the fucking terrible person. But he's the only one that you can prove has actually done something so far, is the one that gets the most grace, which is absolutely wild. But of those ones, he's also the least, like, when you think of R. Kelly, you don't think of like super successful specifically, you think of good music. But when what's tied with Diddy and Jay-Z is also them being super successful. That's tied in with Kanye West too. Same thing with Donald Trump. I mean, obviously he's Donald Trump, but so they have what comes with them, of the fact that they have all of this money, they have all of this success. And I think that that's why they don't get the same level of pass, because even still in the other direction, Michael Jackson gets more of a pass than the rest of them do. They did him terrible, absolutely, but he still gets more of a pass than Diddy and Jay-Z are currently, or than Kanye did.
Maybe because of the time that's passed. Probably because of the time that's passed, and the information that's been, through the years, just kind of been ciphered around online. You could see, like, maybe we was wrong about maybe we fucked Mike over a little bit.
That's a fact. I think as a whole, those people, again, black people especially, hate to see their own people succeed. Like, they hate that Jay-Z's doing so well. And the first chance you get, oh, cool, he's not this fucking amazing, fuck him.
Right. He's not perfect.
It's fucking wild. And again, it all goes back to the these beliefs and shit. And this is the stuff that always keeps people trapped, is your hatred of success deep down because you're not successful.
Yeah.
That's always going to keep you where it is that you are. But like you said, when poor people think that rich people are evil, your hatred of rich people is going to stop you from ever becoming a rich person. Like, as long as you have the fallback of, I would be rich too if I was willing to do evil things, that's always going to keep you where it is that you are. So you're never going to become what it is that you hate and are so against, right? Because that's not how the fucking universe works. You spent all this time rejecting this shit rather than trying to get it. But in rejecting it, you prevent yourself from being able to have it.
Absolutely. It makes me think too, like, do we still revere anyone from our culture? Like, anyone that's made it? I'm talking about, like you just said, Jay, Mike, Diddy. Do we revere any older cat that's made it and made millions and hundreds of million out? Are they still revered? Do we, as a culture, do we revere anyone?
I
Or
think
do they? And to add on to that, if we do, how long will it last?
See, that's the question right there. Because I was gonna say, well, you say stuff, yeah, there's like, you get like Tyson and Jordan and stuff like that. But even Tyson, that came back
He had to. I
around.
was about to say he had to make a comeback. He had to make a
Yeah,
comeback.
so it's I think there was, I don't know, man, because I think as a whole that people are just waiting for people to fall. Like Will Smith was the guy up until a few years ago, or maybe more than a few years ago.
Yeah.
But I think people were just waiting for an opportunity to turn on him too. It's the same shit. Like you see all these people, you see the same shit without going into like the specifics of the like battle and shit, but you see the same shit happening to Drake currently.
Yeah.
He's been doing so good that people are just like, they just don't like him because of that. And they're just like, great, here's a chance to see him fall. And these are people who all of a sudden become like battle rap fanatics who don't know anything about no fucking battle rap shit, right? But
Out of anywhere.
It's like, oh well, I don't like this person, so I'm on this person's side, just because they want to see somebody who's been doing good fall down.
Yeah, I always say that, man. Sometimes a motherfucker will just win so long he wins long enough to become a loser, and that's usually in our culture. Like, how do you win long enough to become a loser? Most of the time it's reversed. Like you get your ass kicked long enough until you win, right? But it seems like in our culture, if you continue to win, or if you stay on top for some long period of time, you will turn into a villain, right? So the hero stays a hero long enough to become the villain, right? And is that natural human nature, or is that just us?
Ooh, that's a good question. Because what popped in my head before when you said that is, who is the perfect example of this is Floyd Mayweather. Like,
Yeah.
Floyd Mayweather went out his whole entire boxing career, notoriously made all kinds of money and shit, right? But then he retired from boxing, and every single time he does anything outside of boxing, everyone swears he's only doing it because he went broke. Like, he can't want to do other things. But when you see people like Warren Buffett is 90 some odd years old,
Crazy.
still investing and still making plays and all of this, and no one is like, that's because he's broke. But because you see Floyd Mayweather and you see him winning for so long, the idea that he's still winning is upsetting to people. So they see him doing these new things. Oh, he's fighting, what's them fucking people? Paul Logan?
Logan Paul. I think Logan
Yeah,
Paul.
that
Yeah,
one.
Logan Paul.
I think he fought him. This is two of them, right? One of them fought Mike
Yeah.
Tyson. One of them fought Floyd Mayweather. The one that fought Floyd
Logan
Mayweather.
Paul.
That's the one. Okay, so Logan Paul or Floyd Mayweather fights Logan Paul. People swear it's because Floyd Mayweather's poor. Floyd Mayweather fights Conor McGregor. They swear it's because he's poor. Not just because he's trying to do other stuff. Not because he didn't just settle where it was that he's at and he's still trying to expand himself or venture off into other things. The only thing that makes sense to some people is that he's doing stuff because he's broke. Because in their mind, they can't fathom the idea that someone is continuing to improve because they themselves don't. And I think on some level, it's kind of hard for me to answer that, right? Whether it's a this specific culture thing or all thing, just because of what it is that I pay attention to. Like, I don't know what people think about like fucking Kid Rock or something. It's not a knock to Kid Rock. I just don't listen to him, man. I don't really pay attention to what
Me
he's doing.
neither. Me neither.
But like, I don't know what certain people are doing. And the other thing, I don't know how these people are viewed. I know how certain people are viewed because I exist within that same type arena. So I would imagine that it kind of applies across the board, because you'll see when everyone wanted to cancel like fucking Harvey Weinstein or fucking what's the girl, Doja Cat.
Wait, when they tried to cancel Harvey Weinstein, when did that happen? When did anyone try to cancel him? Yeah, right. That never happens. That never happened. Yeah,
Crazy shit, man.
Yeah, no, nobody would even say that. Nobody would even say that. Oh, Harvey Weinstein is canceled. Nobody would even say that shit. That's what makes me mad, right? Whoever was on fucking Epstein Island touching little boys and girls, you can't cancel. These people can't get canceled. Well, we can't even see who we don't even want to see who was on. Like, nobody even inquires about this shit. We want to know about
the shit that gets swept under the fucking rug is absolutely insane. And then the shit that people focus on instead, like, this was years ago. They found this motherfucker. They found his weirdo little fucking island, and then he got hung in a cell 2 days later, and everyone's just like, oh, crazy, and moved on about their business. Like,
I don't give a fuck about 100 bottles of baby oil and all this other bullshit.
Who gives a fuck what weirdo shit? Like, who gives a fuck if Diddy was having weird sex parties? Who cares? Like, why are you worried about this? I don't fucking care. Why are you worried about all these other people's, like, you're so fucking wrapped up in fucking what is it, Cardi B and fucking Offset, I think. Whatever. Offset's fucking relationship, but you ignore this other shit. Like, this island shit is fucking weird. Like, it's so much more interesting shit that just gets swept under the rug for a bunch of nonsense, right? And then when people point out the interesting stuff, then they get flagged or framed as a conspiracy theorist, or they're when people talk about what was it? I'm not saying this is a thing, but it was a Pizzagate thing they had, where it was like they're running like some sort of sex trafficking ring out of the bottom of a pizza place. I don't know if that's true. I'm not saying it is, but when you see certain things, if people had any degree of like object permanence, right, where it's like you remember this thing that took place, like you remember the pizza thing, and then a few years later the Epstein Islands thing happens to take place, you're like, maybe this one isn't that far off after all. If this is real, maybe this one is. Again, I'm not saying it is, but when you start to see
can it be questioned?
That's the thing. When you start seeing the patterns of stuff, you need to be able to piece shit together. But again, people don't observe. People don't ask questions. So they're not able to see these things. And they call everyone else who asks questions or who wonders, well, what about this? A conspiracy theorist. And they lump them in with the people who think that it's lizards underground fucking psychically controlling everybody, as a way to kind of discredit anyone who goes against the mainstream narrative.
Shout out David Icke. You said the lizard shit. I think it was David Icke, for those who read. Yeah, I think it was wasn't it David Icke? He said it Behold a Pale Horse. He said something about
I'm
lizard.
familiar with Behold a Pale Horse. I don't know who wrote it though.
David Icke, yeah. Is it Icke or Icky or whatever? So it's David Icke, yeah. Or William Cooper. Might have been William Cooper.
William Cooper sounds right to me.
Maybe William Cooper. I don't know. I don't got Google at my hand right now, but it's either William Cooper or David. Shout out to them. They were brutally killed. Both of them was brutally killed anyway. So, yeah. Well, that's a whole nother subject for a whole nother show. You see what happens to people who ask questions, right? or
make an example,
or perhaps ask the right questions, right? Or ask the right questions. Not to say there's lizard people. Like, that one threw me for a loop. And this is crazy you mentioned Kid Rock, man, because I see something that I see somebody said something about Kid Rock, because Kid Rock said something about Michelle not going to the inauguration or some shit, and I guess he's going to be canceled or what? How do you cancel these? Like I said, that brings up our last point. You can't cancel fucking Kid Rock. Okay, you can't cancel. That made me go back to the clip. He was being interviewed. I think it was Fox, one of them fucking news things. He was being interviewed, and they asked him. And he was like, "Well, yeah, I didn't vote for Obama, but they asked me to perform at the shit, and I went because he became president. I went out of respect, and I did my show. And so the fact that she's not gonna, come, that's kind of fucked up." And he said something to that effect, and people, we find the funniest shit to get in an uproar about, man. I'm telling you, man. If it ain't about weirdos touching motherfuckers on an island, touching little kids and girls on an island, we don't get upset about that, or them trying to publicly fucking break buck or whatever you call it, our people in public and shit. We don't have a lot of energy for that shit, right? We want to see Diddy's list, but we don't really want to see Epstein's list. Like, that shit right there
Is
is
weird.
baffling to me. But
Absolutely.
the more time that goes by, the less baffling it becomes, because we keep doing it, and I'm like, is that who we are? Is that who we have become? Is this it? I really don't. It's hard to see us. It's hard to see us make. It's hard to see us come back from this mind state, right? It's because it's getting worse, right? And that was part of the reason we kind of came up with this podcast, man. Just and again, we are not media. I am not rap media. Jason is not rap media. We're not political media. We're not media, man. We are not. Don't even. Oh, media. Like, don't do that. I'm not media. Jason's not media. We are here to read between the lines. We are not choosing sides, picking sides. We are on the side. If any side we are going to choose, it is going to be the side of logic, the side of common sense, the side of good virtue and good morality. Other than that, I don't choose sides, man. I don't choose sides.
Absolutely. Like I think that like a lot of the things, I know we reference a lot of things that they happen to be relatively current topics, but the topic itself isn't the point. It's the perspective that you're looking at the topic through, right? Like the lens that you're viewing it through, because how you view the world kind of dictates the world that you live in. And most people are just content to have their worldview given to them by people who would like them to stay blind. And that's really the problem. Like you said, the mindset is getting worse, and people, the ironic thing is people think that they're going in the other direction now that they're all woke, but that's just part of the thing. You're just playing a game that's designed for you to not win. It's never occurred to you that you could play a different one. That's where people wind up with the thing about the game is unfair and the game is rigged. No, you don't even understand what the game is, because you're letting them tell you the wrong things, and you're refusing to accept that you could go and participate in a whole entire different one where all of these things don't actually affect you, and you've opted into the one that you can't win. So the whole goal is just to get people to realize that it's a different path, man. Just because they said you go left or right, it doesn't mean that you can't turn around and walk the other way.
Absolutely, man. Listen, man, we had a great convo. We always do.
Facts.
Maybe it's because we are fucking smarter than everyone else. Maybe is that it?
Absolutely, no question.
All most knowing Jason Lamar. That's what we're gonna call him. Nah, you the all I seeing, man. Fuck what they talking about, man. You the go-to guy, man. I'm just here to throw the alley oops, man, and you always slam them home, man. But game within the game, man. Listen, man, we here, man. I don't listen. I think we destroy shit, man. We destroy shit, man. And like I said, it's always great talking to my boy, the all I knowing Jason Lamar. Randy Nichols.
I'm gonna start rocking with this fucking nickname too. I'm just
You should.
running with it.
You should,
But
man. Why not, man? Fuck it.